When I think about teaching English language learners, I think about all the good change that comes from teaching a student English. English is one of the most well-known languages and is taught and spoken in many countries around the world. The importance of teaching to me is to make a change and help make a better life for a student being taught. With that being said, English is a very hard language to learn, and it easily comes with failure. As a teacher, it's my job to make sure that students experience the least amount of failure, but when they do experience failure, it's my job to make sure that they learn from their mistakes. There are many ways to go about teaching English, and there are many lessons and strategies that I've learned over my years. In my opinion, one of the most important strategies that I have learned and will equip in my classroom is social interaction and collaborative work. When in the classroom, it is important that students keep the social aspect of their life present, while also learning from those interactions. Some activities that I would do would be group work. This strategy starts with me as a teacher and how I set up the classroom. Personally, I believe that having students sit in small groups is the most creative and effective ways for students to learn together and interact with each other. I think that this is the most important step for an English language learner because they can be paired up with students that English is already their first language, and they can help those learners with simple phrases and sentences that they may not understand. This brings up my next strategy, which would be having a culturally inclusive classroom, making sure that at each set of groups has a mix of English learners and students that English is their first language. I believe that this is an important step in many ways, but one specifically being the collaboration and work that can get done with a setup like this. The students are able to rely on each other for questions, whether it is related directly to academics or socially. Another important strategy for me as a teacher is having multiple steps of direction. This comes with clearly breaking down assignments or an activity into a step-by-step process that can allow an English learner to pay more attention to detail and overall understand the assignment better and improve their English vocabulary. English learners will benefit from this heavily. For example, if we were doing a group activity in class, explaining the first question in a thorough manner, step by step, of how it is supposed to be done, an English learner can grasp the concepts of the assignment and ask questions along the way, rather than giving them the whole assignment and having them read instructions themselves. This avoids many questions coming all at once. Instead, it allows them to better understand one question at a time in the assignment overall. Over time, as students get more comfortable, we will expand the directions instead of one question at a time. We will then do 2 questions at a time, and so on as they grow as a learner. Overall, being a teacher is a gift in my eyes. It allows me to spread my knowledge and help each student grow in their own ways. As a teacher, there is always room for improvement, and having a growth mindset over a fixed mindset is important to me. What does that mean? Having a growth mindset means that failure is good. Failure means that you're learning and that you can learn from your experience, and instead of saying if you fail, it's done. A fixed mindset is basically the opposite of that. A fixed mindset is when a student gets a question wrong and they say, I can't do this. As a teacher, I believe that every student can do every single activity or assignment. It's just in their own way. I want to get better every day and understand my students more and more each day. Creating a classroom environment that is comfortable and making a space for a student to be real and share their thoughts truthfully is very important to me because it will help the students perform at their best. Each student will get one-on-one time with me as a teacher. I can promise that. That is one of my main goals as a teacher. Understanding each one of my students' learning ability and also their goals. Reaching each student's goals by the end of the year is an important step for me, and I believe that through this process and through these activities and strategies, I will be able to do that.